Hey there, guys and gals. Thanks for joining us today on Cinema Recap. Always happy to have you here. Today, we're going to do the recap for The Load. Spoilers ahead. And we start our movie with text. Right away, we learn about Francisco Tenamistal, who was a Caxcan leader and warrior that was in charge of leading an uprising of his indigenous people. Like all great leaders, he was arrested, but not before he spent 9 years being a menace to the Spanish. We find our guy Francisco a little worse for wear. He's wearing the full chain shackle getup that you would expect. He's told by some priest that the Viceroy's people will have to pay for the unexpected change. Looks like he's just gonna leave him there though. The Viceroy seems to be enjoying himself, carted around like royalty, looking like a typical ruler and bad guy from Count of Monte Cristo. They're blocked by a crowd of people who really look unhappy. The Viceroy wants the priest from before to talk with Francisco and have him call off his little mob of angry indigenous people. The same priest is a sassy one. He says that he's on the side of justice. I hope he doesn't get killed for it. He says that the Indians will only leave depending on the verdict of the trial. A trial? For what? Standing up for his people against an entity trying to colonize and steal their land? And I'm sure the Spanish weren't nice about it either. We find the natives doing their thing, fishing and salting their meat. There's one man that has an urgent delivery of a leaf. Well, dang, must be urgent if he's hauling butt up a hill with a load on his back. Eventually, he has to make it to his brother, and just wants his dang envelope delivered to some main plaza before dusk. The Penali talks crap about its men not coming to see their mom. Yeah, typical sibling rivalry. Meanwhile, Itzman is running with the load to meet another guy. Man, what an annoying mail-carrying service. The banana leaf letter finally makes its way to some town. Next, we find some other money-hungry Spaniard. He's not liking the news that's traveled around, worrying about a rebellion from the natives if Francisco's trial goes wrong. 3,000 angry natives might be a problem. Apparently, the final stop of the banana leaf letter was a woman named Elisa. She's the daughter of someone important, and she seems worried. She says that she needs to go into the city to meet someone, and like the rebellious daughter and woman that she is, well, that was awkward. Elisa has an admirer who thinks she needs to be wearing brighter clothing. Oh, dang. That's what she's mad about. Her friend, Fray Valerio, has hooked her up with some information that needed to prove her dad's involvement in her husband's murder. She plans to testify against her father in Francisco's case. Talk about the ultimate family betrayal. Her husband wanted equality. No wonder your dad killed him. Screw equality when you're trying to conquer an entire continent. Fray Valerio seems to be a decent guy. He has a relationship with the indigenous tribes and seeks out Penali. He finds him hanging out in a hut with a bunch of super sick people, praying over a fire. Valerio's like, dude, you could die. Why don't you go to a different hut? Turns out that Fray Valerio was a friend and ally to his father and people. He needs Penali to take an important load for him. Our Indian friend is worried about leaving his people, as there are not many left. Poor Elisa. Gotta rub her dad's ugly old feet after he killed her husband. She doesn't want to be here taking care of you either. You have her husband killed, and then you try to hook her up with a guy who brought her the clothes. Penali and his son, Olin, are cute. At least his mom took the money. Itzman seems jealous that he wasn't invited to the party. Man, if these people didn't already have it bad, now Penali's son has the pox. When it rains, it pours. What the hell is Itzman doing watching him? You smell that? It's like betrayal with a hint of foreshadowing. Elisa decides to go with her father into the city, but really, she has her own plan. Never really gonna understand how the puffy pants were ever a thing of fashion. Don Miquel seems almost worried about talking to a man that's chained up in a cell. Francisco's not fazed by the old man's statements. When Don Miquel tells him that he's gonna die no matter what happens, he just busts out some cryptic stuff. As a flex, Francisco proves exactly how much influence he still has over the crowd of people outside. Don Miguel should be worried. Shockingly, in court, Don Miguel doesn't want to listen to anybody. The same priest, Friar Antonio from earlier, is out here lawyering for Francisco. He claims they have evidence to support Don Miguel's illegal politics. Friar Antonio swears that he really does have this evidence and a witness and proves so by kissing his cross. Unfortunately for Don Miguel, this means that the hearing will take place in Spain and not where they are currently. He seems to really hate that idea, and maybe like he's losing his support system. Elisa puts on a sad face really well. He knows that if she's the witness, he's pretty damn screwed. Sorry, Pops, probably shouldn't have killed her husband. Don Miguel tells Elisa's admirer Diaz that if he captures her and brings her back to him, that he'll give him a bunch of money and her hand in marriage. Yikes. Elisa has to run now before she's picked up by her yucky future husband. The heck is that thing? Some kind of chair to holler around in? Why can't she just walk? Oh, they're really getting their cardio in now. Really? Itzman's still following him. What is his deal? Don Miguel's guys realize that they're too late when freaking Itzman shows up. He points him in the direction of his brother and the others. Our travelers take a lunch break. Penali's friend Coyoli tries to ask her if she'd prefer to ride in front with him. But there's a bit of a language barrier. Yeah, why don't you guys just let her walk? Looking a bit ridiculous carrying her around on a chair. Itzman's still leading his gaggle of Spaniards after his brother, but they actually see them on their trail. Penali wants to change route. Makes sense, but his friend doesn't exactly agree. Penali wants to protect the load, but Coyoli sees self-interest as being more important. Friar Valerio decides to play a distraction card. Let's see if Diaz is gonna listen. Something tells me probably not. The trio watches from a cliff as Diaz kills Valerio. Because that was super hard to see coming. Elisa is upset. Penali's still unable to see exactly who's leading him. Can't wait for him to find out. Meanwhile, Penali's mother tries to work some magical juju to save poor Olin. Itzman's still running alongside a bunch of horses. Holy crap, that man has some stamina. They're gaining on our crew. Spaniards have horses and they don't. Not exactly a fair fight. Oh, and they have guns too. They shoot Coyoli dead. Now Itzman realizes that he's a gigantic ass for leading them to his brother. Penali managed to escape by floating down the river. While the men are sleeping, it's time for Penali to make his move. Heck yeah, man. Itzman deserves a club over the head. That's deep, but well deserved. He frees Elisa and they escape. As you can imagine, Diaz was pretty mad when he found his dead soldier and Itzman tied up. Now our poor guy Penali is on their radar, and the Spaniards are out for more blood. Come on, Elisa, you're out of shape. Maybe they should have made her walk just for some exercise earlier. The heck is he doing with all those rocks? Elisa's starting to realize that her rescuer is not so bad looking. Plus, he's pretty ripped. The Spaniards and Itzman are confused by the change in Penali's footsteps. Oh, maybe that's what the rocks were for. Nice one, throw him off the trail. Penali also realizes that his little piggyback companion is actually pretty good looking as well. Itzman makes it to the tree Penali and Elisa stopped at earlier, and he seems weirded out. I guess the solution to his problem is to run? We see now why Itzman was trying to not say where they went. Our pair makes it to Penali's village where he mourns with Coyoli's wife. He's not the only one who's died recently. Hopefully his son makes it. Elisa has a kind heart. Too bad she just can't walk that far to save her own life. Literally. Penali realizes that the Spaniards are still on their trail. They're probably gonna burn everything. Itzman's mom shames him for his crappy treatment towards his brother. Rightfully so. Thankfully, the Spaniards didn't burn the village. Phew. Elisa refuses to let Penali carry her, saying that she won't ride him like a beast. But of course, her feet are covered in blisters. Penali knows some tricks of the jungle and wraps her feet up in some leaves. Itzman is jealous of his brother stealing his girl. Somehow our pair is trying to sleep through the storm. Yeah, that type of thunder would make it hard to sleep if I was in a house, let alone a jungle floor. Elisa and Penali have a little heart-to-heart about their exes. Looks like they've both had it pretty rough. Oh great, some long hanging bridge. The immediate anxiety from walking over one of those would be enough. Hope no one has a fear of heights. Really, Itzman? Apparently betrayal wasn't bad enough, you have to go and use his son as blackmail? Elisa, being a nice lady who's done seeing people die because of her, doesn't want anything bad to happen to Olin, so she wants to give up. Do they really think that Itzman will kill Olin? Well, maybe, but still. Holy that's psycho! He really did it. He knows that his brother's hunting him down like the freaking Terminator. You go get him, Penali! He feels some kind of sadness about his brother and spares his life after he realizes that he's doomed to the pox like the others. Still, man, totally not cool throwing your nephew off a cliff. They bury Olin with some pretty rocks on top of a mountain. It's a nice view, even for a dead person. Elisa's carted back to her father, Don Miguel. At least she has a carriage now. She'd probably prefer to be on Penali's back or walking, considering how much of a jerk her dad is. Like a typical parent who's done terrible things, Don Miguel says that he's only done this stuff for her own good. Yeah, right, man. Penali hasn't forgotten his ultimate mission, which was to get Elisa to the coast. Is that Cotton? What's his plan? Well, he definitely has one. Elisa overhears that Diaz is the only hope at getting them to the coast. Makes it easy to choose a target at least. Penali moves around like a ninja in the night, poisoning the horses in the water supply. Not the poor horses. Apparently that wasn't Cotton. Now they have to continue on foot. Seems like a great plan on Penali's part. We know these people have no stamina without their horses. Elisa sees Penali in the distance and runs to him. The Spaniards flail around and try to catch up, but looks like they're gonna barf or faint. They left her dad to fend for himself back there. The two try to run, the other shoot at him, but clearly can't hit anything from that distance with a close-range weapon. Diaz is the only one to even come close to catching up with Penali, and he takes aim. Come on, Diaz, you're better than Don Miguel, right? Well, he proves that by letting him go. But he had to confess his love for Elisa first. Then he might have decided that dying there was better than going back to her annoying dad to drag him all the way home. Elisa finally gets to the coast, thanks to her Tememe friend Penali. He's the real hero here. She's feeling terrible for his losses during that journey, but he felt like it was destiny. At least he's made it out alive. She asks him to come with her to Spain, but that's not where he belongs. Plus, he'd get out of shape so fast not running around with 100 pounds on his back all day. She gives him her husband Diego's coin to remember her by. Maybe a kiss? No? Okay. A head bump is acceptable. She decided that the way she can honor Penali and his sacrifices is by fighting for him in Spain alongside Francisco. Their efforts weren't in vain, at least, and they were able to accomplish what they wanted. And that wraps it up, guys. Thanks for chilling with us on The Load. Produced and released in 2016 by Esfera Films Entertainment and EI2 Media. So what do you think? Did Elisa ever go back to visit Penali? Let us know your answers down in the comments below with that hashtag Cinema Recap. Please leave a like if you felt all of it, and subscribe if you haven't already, because we'd love to have you. As always, guys, thanks for chilling with us. Till next time.